Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the African Leadership University, a place where hard things are done diligently. And due to this, our university is revolutionizing education in Africa. The journey of every ALU student begins with what we call the Leadership Core Year. Leadership Core, as we call it, is the powerhouse that generates a powerful spark in the way we think and carry out our work. It is here that every novel student is given the opportunity to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Leadership Core changes the way we think about education, about the business ecosystems around us, and about the leadership of Africa by Africans for Africa. The four courses in Leadership Core have been customized to create and cement a dynamic foundation that would help us become quintessential leaders in any field our heart desires. Personally speaking now, the Leadership Core Year has equipped me with a number of skills and opened my eyes to how things work. Because of the past year, I can solve any problem presented to me with a handful of tactics such as asking the right questions, understanding the personalities I'm working with my emotional intelligence, communicating to have an impact, analyzing all the data, and finally, giving a bold presentation, one for the ages. Now, I know you're tired of hearing my voice, but come along with me and let's experience more of this Leadership Core Year through its most recent first year students.
One of my key moments was the treasure hunt. That was so much fun. Exploring Mauritius in that way was, I think, the best way you could have, like, the leadership core team could have gotten us to understand how Mauritius works. That was so lovely. And I think also the first project's presentation, that was the first time I've ever had to formally talk and present and defend my ideas, and I loved that. It definitely grew me.
For me, Leadership Core has honestly just felt like a compression of a whole lot of information we've had to take in and basically align with our skills and see how we can use it in the future. There's so much that has changed in me as a person since September last year when we started and July now when I speak to you. That is less than a year, and I feel so much growth in me as a person.
Overall, Leadership Core was challenging. It was a very demanding experience, but I think it really taught me how to think for myself, and especially how to produce the best work that I can when I am left to my own devices.
On Leadership Core Year, I was able to actually meet a variety of students from all over Africa. So I was really grateful for this opportunity because I was able to establish a connection with them. Being a student in Mauritius, I really wanted to meet different people with different kind of mindsets. So I was really able to grow from this whole adventure, should I say. Talking about growth, Growth Week was actually one of my key takeaways from Leadership Core, just because we were able to experience different activities based on our interest. And also something to mention would be the constant support of our teachers. Our facilitators were always there, whether we were writing essays at 3 a.m. or just laughing in classes. They were always here to give us advice and be there, should I say, as a backbone for our growth.
Entrepreneurial leadership was the subject that really had the biggest impact on me because it was the one subject that really made me question myself and my values and my goals. And it made me ask myself whether or not I was living my life in a way that would help me reach those goals and in a way that was true to my values.
Leadership Core as a whole has felt like the courses have felt like each one of them have played a part in my understanding of the world, sort of broadened my understanding and opened me up to different sort of opinions. The course forces us from each one of the lecturers to break down problems, to ask why that exists, to find root causes to things and to everyday things that we face. So firstly, Firstly, in data and decisions, we're taught how to critically analyze situations and visually display data. To critically analyze data and visually display it. This is such a key and core skill I've gotten a chance to use in my current work systems at the moment, as well as then moving on to the other modules, projects and entrepreneurial leadership, which has kind of built my business ethic as well as my acumen as a whole. I've sort of gotten better at understanding what is key in business scenarios, as well as how to present myself and move forward within various business cases. And then lastly, there is communicating for impact. That showed me the importance of different ways of communicating, looking at the small things and how that impacts the world and listener, the reader.
So one of the main courses that had an impact on me would be entrepreneurial leadership, just because it helped me to understand that change happens within us, then you may implement it on the other people. I was able to learn a lot about self-awareness, self-regulation, the importance of habits, and this allowed me to pretty much shape my whole self-improvement journey now.
The biggest one that's had the impact on me is definitely projects. Currently, I'm working with a team, and we're handling a project right now, and it's been so useful knowing that I learned how to work with teams, that I learned how to interact with different kinds of people, because honestly, outside of school, you really can't, not everybody has the same drive that you do to make it. So I think that's something that's been so cool. I think also each course was very, very useful. Entrepreneurial leadership was everything. Evolving myself, really reflecting on things that I thought I knew, which I really didn't. And then communication for impact kicked my butt, because I thought I was a good writer, and Mr. Jeremiah really just communicated that you're great, but not that great, come for help, evolve your ideas, be more direct. And I think those little things really helped my writing in the long run.
My key takeaways are pretty simple. They're simply living my life with integrity, keep myself and my peers accountable for all of their actions, as well as my actions, and never be afraid to speak my thoughts.
Of the skills I learned in breaking down problems, I've come to that scenario now. I want to speak to sort of being in scenarios where I'm quite under pressure right now in our summer intern period. I have 3 opportunities that I decided to all pursue. It's going well. I still have my head above the water, and that's quite that a result of that has been so much a testament of the courses we've learned, my ability to quickly from a task break down how I deal with it, break down how it aligns with what I'm trying to achieve, and be able to get to a goal faster, get to a goal with more depth, and bring more value to my workspace as an individual.
Currently, as I hold a podcast with several of my friends from university, ALU, we decided to create this podcast based on our experience from the leadership core, that is to stand up for our ideas, whether they were controversial or not. So it being a controversial podcast, we really encourage everyone that's listening to our episodes to stand up for their rights, their ideas, and just go and innovate Africa as well as the world.
I'm currently working during my internship, and I've been working with a team because I'm doing social media marketing. So because it's like a team of 3, really using my project skills and also my data analysis skills from data and decisions, that's really, really, really helped when it comes to making decisions from a logical point of view. And the little things, even just communicating with people, communication for impact really helped. And I think leadership core, I didn't realize how useful it would be until I left completely. It's now in my everydays when I'm just even talking to my father about little tech things, Google Drive, Google these things, that I realized how much we were learning and how we were getting really, really, really relevant skills.
I personally aspire to become a performer, and I think Leadership Core helped me in that regards because it taught me to learn how to create smaller goals and then move on to the bigger ones. All in all, I think Leadership Core really taught me to constantly reflect on the way I choose to lead my life, on the path that I take, and especially on how I choose to treat myself and the people around me.
Reflecting on my experiences at LC, I would say they were phenomenal. My key moments were the moments where I had to let go of things that I thought were right when actually it weren't, and learn new things. To do this, the Leadership Core courses helped me, as well as the lead team. From data and decisions, I learned how to analyze a lot of information and draw out key insights from it. From project management, I learned how to research on problems, find solutions to these problems. From entrepreneurial leadership, I learned how to ask the 5 whys, find the root cause, and find ethical solutions. From communicating for impact, I learned how to communicate my solutions, communicate my ideas, communicate my thoughts well in a manner where anyone would understand. The lead team was phenomenal. I'm the kind of person that I don't like telling things about myself. I don't like talking about my problems. But the lead team created a comfortable atmosphere that allowed me to work with them. It allowed me to tell them my problems, and they worked with me. It was a 50-50 thing. They didn't just be a dictator and be like, oh, and he must do this. No, they worked with me to achieve these goals and to fix these problems. My key takeaways are always find the root cause, always ask why, always ask the 5 whys, find ethical solutions, and always be ready to learn. I think that's what else is all about, just being ready to learn, ready to immerse yourself in all this knowledge that they are putting right there for you. My aspirations are to be one of the driving forces, be one of the people that are bringing out change in my country, Nigeria, and Africa as a whole. And to do this, I'm using my LC experience to start businesses which would solve problems in Africa. An example of a business that I and my team are working on is Udem Free, which would solve many problems such as job creation and skills gathering in Africa by the grace of God, and also Answer the Tongue, which I'm working with another team that will probably launch in January. I'm also using my LC experience in my internships, in my day-to-day life, in my personal development.
Thank you to ALC.
And all our Leadership Core facilitators.
By name, Mr. Esuman, Dr. Chim, Ms. Yetunde, and then Mrs. Muta.
We are very, very grateful. I am very, very grateful.
You're amazing. It was challenging, definitely, but it was something that I would be thrilled to do again. Thank you. We hope to see you soon.
Humans have survived without wearing shoes until somebody came up with the idea to exploit us. So we have to spend money on shoes. Or we can survive without shoes.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, be wise. Be wise. Save the planet. Save materials. Do not wear shoes. Okay? Thank you.
I want you back. Who would you tell? 'Cause I went there.
And then put you on
Bleed free to flare. I know you gon' be proud of me. No, you gotta be proud of me, okay? You're living with your mama. Messy face. I just put that down, ran out on the streets and did a race. Give it to a J like a Cadence. Why I said bottle with Chamberlain. I'ma call the play like it Madden. I mean, put a with mercy. I can get you knocked for 100 bands. Did a tripod and they walked in. All you see on my block is the Taliban's. Put you in a coffin, never breathe again. Cartier bust down on my sleeve. We can drink cold when I sleep. Drink codeine, use speed. Walking through the back door on a D. Playing 5 racks on T. All the kids got an AP. Anytime it's hard, my niggas start to riot. Chopper get the ring and can't be quiet. Real niggas always moving silent. Copping out when